What's up, YouTube? Today has been a bit of a gloomy day, I'm not gonna lie. I went to a funeral this morning, and then on the way home, I find out that I didn't get the job that I recently had applied for. And I have been hoping and praying on this job for almost a good month now, you know. So upon hearing that phone call, I was pretty upset. I didn't freak out over the phone or anything like that or lose my cool, but I was a little frustrated. Definitely a little frustrated. But I was quickly reminded that if this is a no, that just means that the Lord is preparing something else for me somewhere else. You know, this is about His plan and not mine. So I just gotta be faithful. And I was reading the book of James earlier today, and it talks a lot about just having faith, especially in times like these, especially in trying times and struggling times. These are opportunities, great opportunities even, to exercise your faith. Because when do you really know who you are? Really, do you actually get to figure out who you are when things aren't going your way? Okay? When everything's going your way, that's easy. That's so easy. It's effortless, you know? But when things aren't going your way, when you don't get the job, when you're having problems with your relationship, when you're having family issues, whatever it is, say it's all piling on you at once, that's the opportune time to be more faithful. To put your belief in the Lord and know that it's in His hands. But it's not just enough to be faithful, because the book of James also talks about how faith without good works is dead. Okay? So if I'm just going to be faithful and just sit here and do nothing and be faithful, and just sit here and wait, nothing's going to happen, Like, I have to do my part too. You know what I mean? I can't just sit around and wait and expect things to get better if I don't do anything to change them. And that's common sense, but a lot of us don't act upon that. We really don't. And the biggest thing here too is not allowing the things in my life to stop me. So whatever you're going through right now, whether it's on the job, family, wife, whatever, you have to use that as motivation for not giving up. There's so many reasons, and it's so easy to give up. But what makes us stronger men is not giving up in spite of what's going on. Having faith and doing the things that make you feel powerful, doing the things that help you understand that you haven't lost control of your life. One of those things for me is going to the gym, staying fit, eating the correct meals, just little wins here and there, even as far as just making your bed when you get out of it. That's a win, okay? Also doing things that are harder for yourself, like in your mind, there are things you don't want to do, the things that you should do. Like, one, for me, I love cold showers, but first thing in the morning, I don't really care for them. So what do? I took a cold shower in the morning. It's already out the way. And then I can look back on it and be like, wow, I did that. I didn't want to do that, but I did that, It really helps to do stuff like that, especially when it's a lot harder for you, because then you can go back in your mind. When you're going through a current struggle or a current trial, you can go back to the past in your mind and realize, wow, I've done this before, I've done that before, and it's made me who I am today. You got to think about how swords are made, okay? Swords are made in the fire, right? You got your swordsmith who's just bing, 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 clanking on that sword, right? Puts it back in that smelting heat, brings it back out, bing, bing. It's got a whole lot of stuff to go through. think of yourself as that sword, okay? The sword doesn't get any sharper from just sitting on the ground or just being in your hand and you holding it. It gets sharper after going through the fire and coming out of the fire. That's what we have to do. And whether or not we're doing that or life does it to us, we have to be willing to come out and go back in. Come out and go back in. And I feel like through time it will get easier. Of course, at first it's not easy, especially if you're not used to being uncomfortable. But that's why it's so important to make yourself uncomfortable. A lot of people nowadays don't even want to sit in silence, man. Like, there's people that I've talked to in the past, and I've asked them, I was like, when's the last time you sat in silence? And they're like, never. I don't like doing that. I don't like being alone with my thoughts. Isn't that sad? That's a sad world that you must live in, that you can't even be alone with your thoughts in silence, man, to just process, you know, to just sit there in peace and to just breathe, even meditate, you know. Like, I, for one, know I used to have that issue. But now more than ever, I find it very important that I can sit alone in silence. You know, we don't have that enough. In my previous video, I know I was talking a lot about how we just have too much information that we're putting into our brains to process. And then by the time it does get quiet, you know, you can't even handle the quietness. You got to have something, you know. We're teaching ourselves to always need something, you know, when a lot of times it's about what we can take away rather than what we can get. Like, for instance, one thing that I took away was my comfort when I sleep at night. So one thing that makes me super comfortable at night, what I used to do, I don't do it anymore. I mean, I've done it maybe a couple times, but I literally haven't done this in a while. So I used to sleep with the fan on because I like how cold it is when I'm asleep. But when I wake up, you know how when you wake up, the bed's like 10 times more comfortable. You really don't want to get up. Well, when the fan is on, I won't get up. Like, that's how comfortable I am. Like, I literally won't get up. Like, I don't want to get up. And it's like I make myself stay in the bed because it's so comfortable. So you know what I did? I stopped sleeping with the fan on. Like, I don't care how hot it is outside. You know, I would even sleep with the fan on in the winter just because that's what I would do. But I didn't care how hot it is outside, the summer, whatever time it is of the year, I would keep my fan off. If I had to take my covers off, take my comforter off, whatever, I'm not going to leave the fan on because I know once that's on, I'm not going to get out of bed. So I don't even turn it on anymore. And sometimes it sucks waking up being a little sweaty. It happens sometimes. But it's easier for me to get up out of the bed. I know that I'm going to get up and get my stuff done if that's off. You know, it's the same thing with a cold shower, right? I know that if I take a warm one, you know, what I'll do is I'll take a warm and then a cold. So every now and then I haven't done this in a while. I haven't jumped in just a straight cold one. But the reason why I like to do warm first is just because it opens up the pores and I like to scrub and get all the dirt out and stuff like that. But I always end with cold, always, you know, and there's those days where I will start with cold, but I love cold showers, especially around this time of the year because the pipes are even colder, the water's colder, okay? I need to feel that. I need to feel alive. I need it to wake me up and to just, you know, make me be present. The one thing I love about the cold is it makes you present. Like, there's not really a thought in your mind other than the fact that, whoa, this is cold. And in a cold shower, if you don't take them already, one of the main things you need to be doing is practicing your breathing. Because the first thing that happens is what? You're usually like, it's cold, right? Activates that fight or flight response. But what you want to do is you want to breathe deep, okay? It's going to calm you down. It's the same thing when you're going through anything stressful in life, okay? You need to breathe deep. You need to breathe fully. You need to be present, okay? Remember that the joy of the Lord is your strength. Remember that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you, okay? It's just like it says, some things are impossible, right? things are impossible with man, but with God, all things are possible. It's literally your belief and your actions that are going to change the things in your life. It will help you align yourself with the will that God has for you. But if you keep your self-limiting beliefs and you allow them to stifle your progress, whether you had a relapse on NoFap, whether your girlfriend broke up with you, whether you lost your job, whatever it is, you cannot allow that to stop what builds you. You have to continually go back to what builds you, whether it's getting up early, taking a cold shower, reading a book and taking notes, a book that's actually going to help you with your future, reading any kind of book that's going to help with that, or as simple as, I said working out already, didn't I? Anything that's going to build you and not destroy you, okay? That's the point here. For me, it's usually working out, all right, or reading. But I think reading is very important. I think that a lot of us need to get back to reading, okay, especially books of faith, like the Bible and any other self-help books out there, okay, that are going to help you become the man that you need to be. All right, that's all I have for this one. You guys have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video.